Every few years, a politician stands in front of a camera and says the same thing. The Middle East map is being redrawn. We imagine generals with pens and rulers. We imagine borders shifting like sand. But the truth is much darker. In 2026, the map wasn't redrawn. It was erased. While the world was looking for new lines, the old ones simply stopped existing. What happens to a country when the map is just a ghost? A map is in line, but the government is in charge. But look at the reality. Syria is one color on your screen, but three different worlds on the ground. Iraq is one name in the UN, but a patchwork of militias, foreign shadows in real life. Yemen has a flag, but no center. The borders are still there in the history books, but the people have stopped believing in them. And once you stop believing in the line, the state becomes a myth. How did we get here? A century ago, Europeans drew lines across the Middle East to suit their own empires, not the people living on them. They forced Sunnis and Shias into the same rooms. They split the Kurds across 4 different nations. They sliced through tribes with a straight edge. For decades, these unnatural states were held together by the iron fists of dictators. When those fists finally opened, the map didn't change. It shattered. Why won't the world let these countries just be? Because the Middle East isn't just land. It's the world's gas station. It's the crossroads of holy sites and trade routes. Global powers don't want a new map. They want influence. They back different groups to control different corners. They keep the ghost map alive because it's easier to exploit a fractured country than a united one. Now look at Africa. It has the same bad borders, the same colonial scars, the same ethnic groups split by invisible lines. So why isn't Africa's map shattering like in the Middle East? Because African leaders looked into the abyss and realized a terrifying truth. If you touch one line, you touch them all. They made a cold, desperate pact. The borders are wrong, but changing them is a death sentence. Africa learned this in blood. Nigeria and the tragedy of Biafra, the split of the Sudans, the scars of Ethiopia and Eritrea. Millions died to prove one point. Borders don't bring peace. They just define where the war happens. Africa chose to freeze its mistakes to survive. The Middle East chose to fight them. But in 2026, the frozen map is melting. Somaliland has behaved like a country for 30 years while the world ignored it. But when Israel formally recognized them, it wasn't just a political move. It was a crack in the foundation. The Arab world screamed. Somalia rejected it. Why? Because if Somaliland is real, then every other land is up for debate. So when you hear the Middle East is being redrawn, don't look at the borders. Look at the people. Look at identities replacing flags. Look at power shifting the capital to the corners. Africa chose to freeze its mistakes to survive. The Middle East is still looking for an answer. The map isn't being redrawn. It's being haunted. But what do you think? Is it better to live in a wrong border if it keeps the peace? Or should we redraw the world to match the people, even if it costs millions of lives? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to understand the forces moving behind these ghost maps, hit the subscribe button. We're just getting started.